Hey guys, welcome to tonight's episode of Café con Cas. I am very, very excited to be here with you. Not many people choose to take a study break by doing a live show on community television, but I do that. You can see by my body language, I'm proud of doing that. I do that. Shout out to Zuzu's of Cambridge, a local establishment down the street. BeLive is live at Cambridge Community Television. Just went there for a nice little study session, got a veggie burger, talked media law and constitution, and I actually have some really cool things that I brought for you, which are in my backpack behind or in front of me or behind you or whatever we're talking about proverbially. Anyways, I'm really excited to be here, and usually I just kind of run right into the show, but I wanted to share a really awesome moment, a couple of really great moments. Cambridge Community Television, the BeLive studio is going to get an upgrade. I haven't read the email yet because in many ways I've upgraded my own show. Where is this? I used to do emotional check-ins with this dot cam right here, and we did a little shot of the outside, but that's how I usually started my emotional check-ins, and now there's going to be an update to the BeLive studio, so I'm really excited to see that. Also really excited to cross paths with a previous host, and it was really interesting. I do this show in a different chair, and I came into the studio and we have different chairs this evening. So I had a little moment that I shared with him about Bruce Lee's philosophy that I wanted to share with you guys. I would bring the clip and show you, but take my word for it. So anyway, so we had to use a different chair tonight, and usually I have this, ritual of sitting in the black chair. So I'm like, no, this is different. This chair is a little bit harder. It's like, I'll actually get up and show you guys. So this is like the little school chair with wheels. So anyways, I'm digging that. So we wanted to try something new tonight. So I said to myself, oh my gosh, I've been a creature of habit. What am I going to do? I'm going to adapt. So I was having a conversation with the other host just a couple of minutes ago, and I said to him, what do you do? And I thought of Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, I'm just going to pull up a picture of him. If you don't know him, let's see, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was an incredible martial artist who also brought martial arts to the big screen. And he had a lot, actually I'm just going to do this while we talk Bruce Lee philosophy. And bear with me because on the way here I was thinking my structure, what I'm going to do. I'm in the middle of finals, so I'm going to do what I do best and I'm going to talk. Got the gift of gab. So we're going to take you through a couple of memes to tell you this story. So anyways, Bruce Lee is a really interesting character, and I'm just going to preface the show with this because sometimes you just have those moments between different producers, and what do? You adapt. So we were having this conversation about the blue chair. Every single time since I've done BeLive at 8 o'clock at night on Sundays, I've always sat in this chair, and it's always a thing. I come in, and the two guys before me, they do a lovely hour on spirituality and talk and advice, come in, and they're like, oh, you're going to use the black chair today? And I said, yeah, I'm going to use the black chair today. So today was the blue chair. So I'm like, how am I going to do this? Bruce Lee came to mind. So something that I thought was really interesting is Bruce Lee studied philosophy in the United States. I mentioned this just as an interesting tidbit, and I'm actually going to transition with a better picture-in-picture. Here we go. So he studied philosophy in the United States. So he liked Ralph Waldo Emerson. He liked the existential poets, which I thought was really interesting. So I just bring up let's do a little P&P action of some of his quotes, and he says, knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Sounds very Yoda, there is no try, there just must do. Spiritual force within me is greater than faith, greater than ambition, greater than confidence, greater than determination, greater than vision. It is all of these things combined. So Bruce Lee is really awesome. So I bring this up because I was having this discussion. What do you do when the chair changes? I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, I'm a creature of habit. What do? You adapt. And when Bruce Lee first came to America and he saw the state of martial arts, it was very rigid. It was functions like, hi-ya, and then, oh, I'm supposed to move, hi-ya, and it wasn't like a lot of like specific contact. So he introduced a philosophy that I thought that was really interesting, and he says the philosophy of adaptation. You don't spend time worrying about what's going to come at you, but when it comes at you, you hi-ya, which I thought was really powerful. So that's just something I wanted to bring up with you guys, Bruce Lee. Yeah, thank you, Bruce Lee, for coming and helping me settle into the blue chair. So that's what I thought about Bruce Lee. We have the philosophy to adapt. So what are you guys watching? How are you watching this? Are you 12 years old and flipping through the channels? Are you 63 and just at home and watching this channel? Are you doing none of the above? Have you found me online? Are you watching me on YouTube? Any way you found me, welcome to the show. I'm really excited to be here. I've had a really hard past 2 weeks with the snow, getting out of the rhythm with the show, in the sense of the snow days and the fact that we kept getting like 2 feet of snow on Sunday, so I couldn't come in. So now I just feel like I'm really getting back into my rhythm. So what is my rhythm? It is Café con Gas. Bienvenidos, Café con Gas. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Hi, I'm gonna just kind of come back and tell you what this is. So Café con Gas, what is Café con Gas? Café con Gas is a cup of proverbial coffee with me. I'm not allowed to have liquids in the studio, so I can't actually have a cup of coffee, but I can have coffee talk with you. We're a little bit more than coffee talk, though. We cover healing, arts, and diversity, 3 really, really important topics. So that's what's going on. And we're live from Cambridge Television. So that's what's going on. The beginning of each show, again, Café con Gas is a show that brings dialogue alive on healing, arts, and diversity with occasional guests. I have a great guest coming up for you at the end of this month, but that time has not come yet. So I'm going to preface that guest with just a lot of excitement because it's going to be a duo. They're going to do a live studio performance. I'm really excited, but I don't have all the details set. But this is just going to be really great. It's going to bring a lot of rejuvenation into the studio, into Café con Gas, what we do. What I do at the beginning of each episode that used to happen on the .camp, but I also innovated with technology and also out of need because I just had all these printouts of emotional check-ins. And if I didn't bring one, I couldn't do it on the show. I've actually uploaded one to a Google presentation. I bring this up every day. And I also ask myself this every day. I have to preface this exercise with one of the following. When I first received an emotional chart, I was very young. And I was really eager and very compliant. So pretty much the emotions that I have are like, okay or okay. I'm okay with that. So what's interesting now is that I have, through my own efforts of healing, an access to a wider range of emotions. And I have days where I can feel anger and resentment and happiness and joy. And I have moments where I can healthy process relationships with excitement or other feelings. Or I can bring more emotions into conflicts and see what's going on. So tonight's emotional check-in I'm really excited about. And you can tell by my body language, me kind of just going like this. I'm a little bit nervous about that. I choose to do emotional check-ins because I want to show people it's okay to talk about your feelings, even if you're really not sure. And so that's what we do today. So let's do a little switch on that. So how are you feeling today? How are you guys feeling today? I'm sitting here smiling, but if you feel like crap, that's okay. Friday, I really felt like crap, so that's part of the experience. So I'm feeling a little bit embarrassed. I don't know why. I'm feeling just a little bit embarrassed. I'm really just making efforts to put myself out there to talk. I'm feeling really happy. And I'm feeling really happy because I wish I had a pen and paper. I'm feeling really happy because Wayne, who was an intern who worked with me on the Monday night spot, is in the studio tonight. So I ran into an old friend, and that makes me really happy. So that's just always just a really incredible moment. I'm feeling a little bit hysterical. I have an exam tomorrow. I have an exam on the Constitution and media. There's this really big book that when I carry around with me, people have asked me, are you in law school? And I tell them, no, I am not. So that's a little bit nerve-wracking. So I'm a little bit anxious about that. And I'm just looking through the emotions. Little bit of confidence, little bit of sadness. I'm feeling a wide range of emotions because within a short period, I'll tell you why, within a short period this weekend, I did a lot. I also planned a spring break trip, and I also got family news that was upsetting and processed that. I also I've started a lot of new things, so it's a little bit emotional for me. So that's really interesting. So anyways, So yeah, that's our emotional check-in. Why do I do emotional check-ins? Because I want people to see that it's not just this esoteric or this weird touchy-feely topic that you talk about in class. Emotions help you live lives, and they're a part of this wide, expansive data set that you can use to really better your life, and you can use to really understand things, because we feel things not just on a literal logical level, but really on an emotional level as well. And that's just really important. So anyway, transition, a little bit about me, a little bit about some of my other CCTV members. What is healing? I think it's really important to still use a dictionary. I think it's really important to also ask and use your own personal dictionary. How do we use words in what context, and how do they affect our lives? So healing is something that I always like to bring up. What does healing mean? I also watch PBS Reading Rainbow, so that's why I like to bring it up. To make healthy, whole, or sound, restore to health, free from ailment, to bring to an end or conclusion as conflicts between people or groups, usually with the strong implication of restoring former amenity. Settle, reconcile. They tried to heal the rift between them, but they were unsuccessful. So I always think this definition of healing is really interesting because it does make I just think it's really interesting the dictionary would use some type of example saying try to heal the rift, but we're unsuccessful. Just because you tried to heal a rift doesn't mean that you're not actively healing. I think some of the most difficult healing moments occur when other people aren't willing to participate in your healing. And in order to really make healing possible, you can't force people to come to that level, or you can't force people to change. Things take a level of readiness, and I think that's really important. So on that note, I just wanted to, so I usually do healing arts diversity. We usually do a middle video of music. Who I wanted to talk to about healing, one of those people are myself, not because I'm egotistical, but I really strongly believe that sharing my experience is going to help someone else in doing it on this platform, especially in the age where everybody's tweeting about themselves. Or I see editors of major magazines and newspapers tweeting about their breakfasts or what's healthy in their standards. So why can't a woman of color do that on Cambridge Community Television and also seek to do that on a wider scale? So that's what's up. So in the name of healing arts and diversity, I wanted to bring up this video. I'll also preface this video with a really great story. If you want to know more details, go check out my Instagram, Café con Gas. But I wanted to bring up this video today, healing arts and diversity. So healing and arts, I wanted to bring up this really profound article, but I also wanted to keep in mind your attention span, bring you a video to take a little bit of break or segment this separately. This song to me is arts, diversity, and healing all at the same time. What was really healing to me is that this was a song that I used to dance and listen to before I got a job, before I moved here to Cambridge, in some of the moments that I was broken, not broken. So as a part of my graduate student status, I went to the Harvard Masquerade Ball, and they had a side room that was really awesome. What was really awesome is that I used a dress. I used a dress I wore for New Year's like 4 years ago, and I fit into it. Hey! Celebrate that moment. No, but seriously, I used clothes that I've used before. I got a mask. I got my makeup on. I got my hair really big and high. It was awesome. But what happened was when I walked into this ball, so there was two side rooms. There was like this floor that kind of reminded me of like fist bumping in New Jersey, which is cool for some people, but for me it was like, oosh, oosh, you know, that's not the beat that really makes me excited. I like percussion, not like possessed drum sets and synthesizers from frustrated prepubescent boys on Fruit Loops. But if you get that joke, email me. Anyway, so this song really means a lot to me. It's Los Caminos de la Vida. So anyway, so I walk, so there's this fist bumping room, there's this live soul funk room, and then there's this side room. And in this side room, I see this band. It's a cumbia band, and I hear like, you know, and I hear that percussion. I hear the sound of beats. Sometimes I feel like some percussion reminds me of like when you put your hand in like a sack of raw beans, you hear you know, beats against each other. It's really awesome. So anyways, so here I am, you know, in a place of privilege, coming from a place of like not privilege, then just going to different places, and I hear this song that I'm about to play for you guys. And Los Caminos de la Vida means the paths of life and the journeys of life, and those are always very different. And the song goes, Los caminos de la vida no son como yo pensaba, no son como imaginaba. Yo no son como pensaba is what I had not thought, and como son imaginaba, no son como yo creía. So it's not what I thought, it's not what I imagined, it's not what I created. It's life has a life to its own, right? So it's like, how can we go on these paths of life? So this song I introduced to you with a lot of warmth in my heart, and I hope that if you want to take the time, look up Los Caminos de la Vida. There has been a modern remix, and I kind of want to make my own, but that's another story for a different day, or a video. But this song I heard in the setting of Harvard, and I had a very, very, very interesting moment that I also wanted to show you. And I'm going to evoke this moment in the style of, how do I say this? Kind of the style of like, you know, opinionated news bringing source, but like, hey, there's someone outside dancing, which is awesome. So not in like a gossipy source, but this song came on, and I ran into another Latino at Harvard, and I looked at him, and I recognized him, and I was like, "Quiere bailar?" You know, I asked him to dance, and he looked at me. He's like, "Oh, I just got here," and I was like, "Why would someone not want to dance, right?" So I'm thinking to myself, this is really weird. I hear this song, nobody's on the dance floor, I get rejected within like the first 3 minutes that I'm there, and I'm like, I don't care. I go over to the dance floor, and I just go in like straight up Latino style, los caminos de la vida no son, and I'm like, it's great because I have a mask on, so there's like a certain level of anonymity associated with this. So I put that on, and I put my mask on, and I'm like, I can do this. And so I went to the dance floor, and this is the song that I heard. Si tú hablas español, para que tú sepa, I'm playing this. If you don't speak Spanish, this is really deep. It's talking about how he doesn't want to work because his vieja, his mom, was worked for him. It's talking about the past of life, and it's a really awesome song, so I'm going to play this for you. Long story short, the Latino guy, when he was sober at the beginning of the party, wouldn't dance to a song that came from his native country. Because this song is a song that I've danced for with the working class. This song is a song that I've danced for when combined gross income of the people in our household were about $15,000 a year. At the end of the night, this particular gentleman came up to me, and he wanted to know if there was an after party, and he was particularly intoxicated. And I looked at him, and in my mind, I'm narrating this, I'm just having this moment. He doesn't know, he's really drunk. I'm like, hell no, I would not go out with you. I would not go anywhere. But I'll remember that at the moment, you couldn't witness that part of yourself, and you couldn't expose other people to that part of yourself. But you're showing me that I've grown to be in a different place. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, enjoy it. If you don't know what it means, Google it, translate it, all right? Here goes.
En la ciudad bonita, Jaime Poveda, un amigo de verdad. Los caminos de la vida no son como yo pensaba, como los imaginaba, no son como yo creía. Los caminos de la vida son muy difíciles de andarlos, difícil de caminarlos, y no encuentro la salida. Yo pensaba que la vida era distinta cuando estaba pequeñito. Yo creía que las cosas eran fáciles como ayer, que mi viejecita buena se esmeraba por darme todo lo que necesitaba. Y hoy me doy cuenta que tan fácil no es, porque mi viejita ya está cansada de trabajar para mi hermano y para mí, y ahora con gusto me toca ayudarla, y por mi vieja luchar hasta el fin. Por ella luchar hasta que me muera, y por ella no me quiero morir, tampoco que se me muera mi vieja, pero que va si el destino es así. Los caminos de la vida no son como yo pensaba, como los imaginaba, no son como yo creía. Los caminos de la vida son muy difíciles de andarlos, difícil de caminarlos, yo no encuentro la salida. Ay, mamá, y hombre, sufro mucho, madrecita, al verte, necesitada y no te puedo dar. A veces lloro al sentirme impotente, son tantas cosas que te quiero dar. Y voy a luchar incansablemente, porque tú no mereces sufrir más. Los caminos de la vida no son como yo pensaba, como los imaginaba, no son como yo creía. Los caminos de la vida son muy difíciles de andarlos, difícil de caminarlos, yo no encuentro la salida.
Bueno, me encanta esa canción, es demasiado, uy, it's just, in so many words, in un melody, it just encapsulates that song and another song that I listen to on like my hard days, that goes, yo sé que no te gustó que yo plante la bandera, which I love because there's so many moments in my journey that I feel like people don't like that I planted the American flag or the Puerto Rican flag, you know, whatever. But that song is just really emotional for me. And I think that song was just, you can't make those moments up. This is a song that you heard in your hardest moment, and then you're like at a Harvard ball, and you hear that song playing and no one wants to dance, and you have the balls to go dance. It just felt really good. It felt really, really good. So that's our little healing arts and diversity portion of today's, not healing arts and diversity, that's our little arts portion of today. Los Diablitos de Colombia is the group, and you can check them out on YouTube. There is a really interesting version that I heard that they changed the lyrics, and I'm thinking to myself, how is that not copyright? How is not plagiarism? This song is better. But I realized that, you know, maybe Americans taught the rest of the globe how to do that, or Bollywood teaches, like Bollywood copies off of American cinema. I mean, there's just such a cross of information and remixes that this is one of the originals, and it's something that you may hear in other places, but I don't know, you can just tell I'm beaming, I'm happy. It just makes me feel real. It makes me feel really wonderful. So that's today's video for you guys, so I hope you liked it. In terms of healing arts and diversity, there's just something, I'm just gonna evoke this in the name of diversity, because I talk about diversity as a very inclusive topic. So I mean racial diversity, I mean cognitive diversity, so people with various disabilities, conversations that I have with my brother who's autistic, which have really changed my life. Like I said, just people across the board. So diversity. So what do we do for healing? There's lots of different ways to heal. There's lots of different cultural norms to heal. There's lots of different instances of mental health in different cultures, some cultures who address that in the spirit, in the spiritual or sacred arts. There's some cultures who address that. You know, for instance, in America, we have this advent and, you know, this rise of Freud and this rise of psychoanalysts and a lot of resources that can help people out. But what are the other resources that you can also seek? Santi Devi is someone who I've mentioned before, and I hope she can hear me, Santi! She lives out in Colorado, but she's a really, really great resource that I call to at a time of need, and I'm going to move this over. And so Santi Devi is just really incredible woman. And I've had the profound pleasure of working with her, and so in doing some spiritual work with her. So she's helped me out. And this is just something that I've been really wanting to share. So I obviously, things that I want to share, I bring out to Café con Gas. So this is one, and we have about a minute and a half left. So I wanted to bring this up and conclude on this note. So include on the realm of healing arts and diversity, there's many different ways that you can heal your life. Santi can help you do that in one aspect. So she is what we call, or she calls, she's a change agent, which I think is wonderful. And she writes this really great article. It's called Rootless and Wingless. So this is it. So she begins with a quote from an unknown author. Says, "When you have come to the end of all that you know, you will either be given ground beneath your feet or wings to fly." Author unknown. But what if you were to come to the end of all you knew and had neither ground nor wings? What if all that you awaited was a terrifying fear of darkening abyss and loss and uncertainty? There are times in our lives when we experience a term of a living death. This can be a period where our belief systems collapse, our marriages end in divorce, and we lose our job or someone close to us dies. There's a sense of emptiness. So Santi goes to talk about, I have navigated this process many times, both personally and with my clients, and I've asked why we must go through this. And she concludes with, and I'll conclude with in the next 15 seconds, there is an unshakable confidence in one who has navigated this unknown terrain successfully, who has learned these lessons firsthand and applied them in their lives. I am grateful for the deaths I have known